Hello, it's Laura from Hyperstamper. I have a really cool antique junk journal here that I have just finished. This is one, I've actually had this for a few years and I've used the maps in here in quite a few journals in the past. It's from 1911. It's a Bacon's Excelsior Atlas of the World. And if you look this up on Google, you'll see that it actually had quite a bit of value. I still have some of the maps from it from Great Britain and the world maps that I'm going to probably put on Etsy separately. But this one I made into a junk journal. I did have to add an extended spine here because it was a very thin book. And as you can see, it is just beautifully aged, but the cover is just still in spectacular color, and wow, it's just very indicative of the early 1900s. I love it. Up to date, not so much, but it was back in 1911. Now on the spine here, I've just put some fabric to cover my repairs, and there's this really cool vintage piece of jewelry here that has an attached bangle, and then I added another vintage bead jewel there. So let's take a look inside. On the front pocket here, I've just tried to do a little map theme. So I've got an Alaska map here from an antique book actually. And then this is the inside page of another book I had. It's just so pretty. It was from a Fables book. And that's a journaling spot now. It's got the original owner's name in there. Frank Kenneby on Wiley Avenue. A vintage bird watcher's log page. This from the 1930s school book page, and then this wonderful 1950 souvenir booklet page here from Pioneer. I've got a lot of clusters in here. I love these old advertisements. And this is from a history book from the 40s. Really cool images. There's that souvenir page again. And in my sweetheart pocket here, I've got this really cool check. And if I hold it in the light right, you can see the dates on there, the date it was cashed, 1954, and that it was paid. I love it. And then this is a 1928 Billboard magazine page, and it's double-sided, of course, and it's got the coolest articles and advertisements and ads in there. You'll quite enjoy that. And on this side, I've got this pretty postcard here of a very old resort, and that is from the 1920s. And then back here is the original plates from a book from the 1800s. And let me just show you here very carefully. It does need some care. It's under onion paper here, but look at this gorgeous print. You could easily frame that. It's just absolutely stunning. So I think the owner of this journal is really going to love that. We've got a this is a plate again from another antique book. I thought you could journal on the back if you like. Pretty little cluster here with a 1907 date on it, and a little vintage dictionary page, 1950s Theatre World magazine page, and this pretty little set of, I believe they are little prayers. They're really quite sweet. And that's very old. I want to say early 1900s or even late 1800s. And this is from this book. It is Ireland on this side. And on this side, it is France. Isn't that fantastic? I love it. It's in very good condition. So yeah, enjoy that. This is from a beautiful folklore, fables, and fairy tales book. Got the dragon there. And then this is a little pocket here from the Magic Garden. I made that one out of, and just an antique book page there made into a journaling envelope. Great cluster here with an antique page, and I've got a children's from the 1930s here, and some little child over the last 100 years has covered that in, colored it in with some crayon, just fun. And a little flip up here to a little journaling spot, and then a little secret pocket in there with another little page. Antique book page. 1930s Oriental Avenue Monopoly piece, and this is from the 1830 1838 actually, but this inscription is from 1835. And it's on very thin paper. This is quite a delicate little piece there. Some vintage pattern paper. This is a vintage hanky that I just made into a little set of pockets with a 1938 Paris Almanac page in there. And that one is from October 1938 during the World War. Just a little teeny tiny journaling tag. Stuff more fun things in there as well. There's a 1950s American road maps. Got Cleveland up there. And I turned that into a pocket on this 1920s music sheet. And this vintage photograph. It looks like it might be a nurse's outfit. I can't tell, but the hat does look like that. And there's just a vintage stamp up there. I made another pocket here out of that same doily, and this is the canasta score sheet here. And that is vintage as well. Another antique book page, and this is from the How to Watercolor book. That's a vintage book there. Lots of fun images and colorful. And speaking of colorful, here is a plate from a 1902 history book. And a little hidden journaling spot here, antique book page print down here. And from 1890s, the Demarest Family Magazine page with really, really sweet images of women and men at parties. I love that. And then the other side of that doily and music sheet. And this is my floating pocket from this one, is the inside of an antique book page. I'm just going to pull that off there. Very colorful. It's got the original writing in it. I just thought it was funky. I didn't want to throw it out because it's just so vibrant and colorful and pretty, the birds. And this is just a cool little piece that you can use for whatever you like. You can even journal on here, why not? But it's got the pages on, or the stamps on hinges onto the page. So a stamp collector has added all of these, and I just think they are awesome. So if you like stamps as well, that is pretty cool, and you can reuse those over and over and over again. So a lot of these stamps are from the 1920s on there. And we'll just slip that right back on the floating paper clip. And there is a 1920s banknote there, German, and this pretty silhouette vintage playing card. And this is a bookmark I made out of a piece of oil painting on canvas. Whoop. And back here, this is pretty special. This is a vintage Mother's Day card with the original ribbon in there. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that lovely? I love it. They don't make cards like this anymore, that's for sure. And look at we've got the little ribbon tie there. So that's pretty fun. And get the little original envelope that goes with it too. And these wonderful children's songs here. This is the index from this original book here. Another wonderful set of children's book pages. This is a history book from the 1850s. On this page particular is on France. Got some Canadian birch bark down here. And that brings us to the end of the book. So it's going on Etsy now, hyperstamper.etsy.com, and I hope you'll come back and visit soon. Bye for now.